And we hear, sometimes we hear folks on the Democrat and Republican side claim, just get the damn shot. What arguments would you have to persuade Democrats who make these statements, and how would these arguments be different for so-called moderate Republicans who make these statements?
Well, slightly nuanced. I would say it would depend on your relationship with the person and with how snarky you want to be, I guess. Have you ever heard of J.P. Sears on the internet? I love that guy. That guy's hilarious. But he does some interesting videos about why you should travel to Australia and enjoy totalitarianism, or excuse me, Australian totalitarianism. And, you know, these kinds of things are the way you answer sometimes when people are so out to lunch that they're willing to just trample on your rights. I don't believe that it's moderate to force other people's bodies into the control of the government. I think we have nearly unanimously decided in our history that that's an extreme position. So these so-called moderates, or however you want to characterize them, that claim to be the big boys in the House are actually on the wrong side of history on this in a very sad way. Some of my friends, and it's discouraging, but that doesn't mean that we back down from pointing it out, from making it clear, and from arguing, I think, from a natural rights perspective. We are made in the image of God, the Imago Dei. It's implanted on every single one of us. I don't care who you are, from the least to the least to the greatest, however you know, that's what we celebrate at Christmas, that God cares about every single person, and no government is above God. Secondly, we have a constitution that we decided back in 1781 would govern us. And no man is above the Constitution, no woman's above the Constitution. We had a doctrine in the Middle Ages that came out of the Kings in June 15th, 1215. We fought against that on the fields of the Runnymede, with resulting in the Magna Carta, which says that no more were we going to be Rex Lex. Now it's Lex Rex. Instead of the king, Rex being the law, now it's the law is the king. Well, we've lost that perspective the last 20 months. So the way back is to simply reassert it. Now, I'll be honest, my heart goes out to people who can't do this. But my family, because of various situations in their jobs, but I'm a small businessman. I don't give a hoot about these mandates. I've never complied, except for the Speaker of the House forcing me to wear a mask, and then the airline forcing me to wear a mask. But I don't tend to comply with that mask rule at all. Neither do my kids, because it's not the law. And the same thing goes for every single one of these mandates. Do you know the first time in 400 years that we couldn't have Easter was by a Republican order? That's not a Republican order, I'm sorry. And I'm stating this because we cannot fix this unless we address it honestly. And I litigated before the Star Chamber of the Office of Legal Counsel to get pastors the right to have Easter in the parking lot. Do you remember that? Easter in a parking lot. They weren't even going to give it to us. And I said, look, you're either going to give it to us, or we're going to go down to Walmart where you said we can gather, and we're going to gather there. And so, okay, well, you're going to do Easter in the parking lot. I mean, really? So we just need to politely, firmly, and legally push back on all this. And then in terms of the response, we need to be firm in our convictions and not back down. That, just like that nice little quote you had there, if the vax is protecting, then why the heck are you worried about me getting it? If I don't want the vax, it's none of your damn business. That's the truth. And that's our country, that's our Constitution. You don't have a right to know my medical. One of the things J.P. Sears does is he does this thing where he's asked, and actually the Attorney General of Arizona picked this up. Did you see that news article? So what's your vax status? Show your card. And he says, what's your STD status? Show your STD status. Shut them up pretty fast. Because why? Because we're Americans. That's your private business. Your health care is your private business. That's the law of the land also. A lot of people try to get around HIPAA by saying it's not the law of the land. HIPAA is a voluntary issue, and HIPAA only applies, they try to convolute their arguments to saying it only applies to medical institutions. Well, where the heck are the medical records? In the medical institutions. And why was HIPAA passed? To protect your medical records. So they can't claim coercion. We did away with that on the beaches of Normandy, and our boys are buried there. You can fly there right now, unless you don't have a vax passport. And you can see their crosses, you can see their Stars of David, you can see that they bought with their own lives the right to our own bodily integrity. And by God, we're going to keep it. So I think the second part is, did you ask this, would I sponsor a bill? You haven't gotten to that yet. So I did sponsor a bill to ban vaccine passports, HB 1150.
Yes!
And so we had a great hearing. The Democrats refused to vote on it. So this year we've got a new tactic. I've got a new bill in to ban vaccine passports again. But this time we're going to have a great hearing, and everybody is asked to come out and testify. And then when they refuse the vote, I'm going to force a vote on the House floor. I'm going to do it through a minute. But we have to be vigilant. I mean, so 2 years ago, before this whole pandemic, the Democrats put a forced vaccine bill in for kids to take away the religious exemption that exists in the law in the Health General article. We found out about it at the last minute, and I started raising alarm. I called Informed Choice Network. I called all these people and was like, this is coming down. We got to stop it. 1,000 people emailed the chairwoman of the committee. She withdrew the bill. First, she comes running up to me one day and she says, "Delegate Cox, call off your people." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I'm getting 1,000 emails about this bill. I'm withdrawing the bill."
Wow.
So, great. But it wasn't my people. That was the people. This is real. This isn't something we just generated. These are moms. These are the mama bears. Don't touch their kids.
That's right.
That's how you get it done.
Yeah.